Alright, so I'm gonna start doing this again. So welcome to Eve Online. So I've been training some skills, uh, just random stuff, basically for a week, roughly. So, excuse me. So this is a premium account. Um, so that's the only thing. Um, I'm not buying any ISK. I'm not buying skill points. Anything that I do get is gonna either be mined or from like the Aura program or whatever it's called. Opportunities and whatnot, and the career program. This is what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna do most of them, but uh, the biggest thing is that when you start out, very important that you get all of your skill. You want to get a lot of skills, at least. The higher level you can get them, the better. It also depends on what you plan on doing. So, like, I've got 261 days worth of training. So, we've got some time before that. Um, so then, what you want to do is when you first start out, um, you like I've chosen to skip the tutorial, so I'm literally starting off with nothing. This ship is all I have, and it's got civilian gun, civilian mining laser, civilian afterburner. And we are starting the bank off with 5,000 ESK, which is the so this is literally the only thing this character has done is train for roughly a week. Um, and so whenever you first begin, like I said a minute ago, most important thing is you need to get skills training up, and it'll depend on what you want to do as to what skills you want. I generally like combat, so anything that's going to affect my ship in any positive way is a very important thing for me. Capacitor management, um, excuse me, your armor skills. Even though this is a Caldari ship, armor skills are still going to be important. They're going to help later on. Drone skills, you definitely want that up, especially for Galanti. Or it really doesn't matter if you really want to have drones, um, and they're just a extra little bit of damage. The electromagnetic system, so this is e-warfare. Um, Not really important when you first start out, unless you plan on doing a lot of hit and run tactics with the Mimitar ships, with the Caldari and the Mara and the Galanti. Generally, you don't. When you're doing PvE, you don't. It's not really needed. Your engineering is where it's going to be very key. So your CPU, your capacitor management, capacitor systems. Like, hang on, let's see if I can get rid of tooltips. Settings, display, long. We're gonna grab that and turn it to long. Okay, so all of these are all gonna be very important for you. So these you want to get to level 5 as soon as possible. They're the ones that are really gonna make a difference. Then if you are flying either Minmatar or Caldari, your primary is going to be shields. Gunnery is also a good thing. And obviously missiles. Missiles are fun. They make stuff explode with explosions. So boom, yeah. Um, Navigation, do with what you will. As of in the beginning, it's not really that important. Um, you kind of want to get everything to level 3, so just so that way everything's to level 3. Natural enhancement, we're not going to worry about that. Production, that's industry. That is something that I would definitely go for, and that's just going to help you. Resource for processing for now, 3 is fine. Scanning, that's all fine for now. We're not going to really worry about it. Science is fine. Shields, this is what is for our tank. And then obviously we have spaceship command. So this is going to be your bread and butter. This is going to choose what ships you can get in. This is, you know, each one is going to have bonuses. So, you know, like the basic operation of the vessels, 2% improve the agility for all ships per skill level. So 2, 4, 6. So we're getting a 6% agility. You can have up to a 10%. And you got Caldari Frigate, which we're going to actually immediately train that. We're going to grab the hauler after that, and the mining frigate. Then what we're going to do is put Caldari Frigate, Caldari Hauler, and then mining frigate. So those 3 I should have done first, and that's just going to be able to unlock better ships. Um, so I'll show you after a little bit. Long range targeting and whatnot. For now, when you start off, this is fine. Trading is it's something that I wouldn't worry about right now when you're first starting out, unless you're going to be a trade pilot. If your guys aren't going to do nothing but trading, then Caldari Hauler with the marketing and the trade is going to be what you want to do. But as far as everything else goes, generally you're going to want to get your ships up. Speaking of ships, so we are Caldari. We're going to minimize this because it won't matter. Um, Generally, you want to find a ship you want to make towards when you are starting out. Don't aim for excuse me. Don't aim for the Titan. Yeah, it's the biggest, baddest ship in the game. She can't be used in high sec. Ain't worth your time right now. That's going to take you several years in order to properly get into, so that way you understand and know how to fit everything and be able to use. Ideally for Titans, if you want to get to the mastery of it, which skills. So mastery right now would take you 3 years and 9 months for this account to train everything up. So basically 4 years of training. Um, that is the biggest ship in one of the biggest ships in the game. Ideally, you don't want to start there. You're aiming for, okay, well, I want to go after well, that's a Logi ship. I don't want that. The Kestrel, that seems like a good one, or the Merlin. These two are very stout ships. They're very great. Or you can use a smaller one, the Condor. That's a great one as well. It's a hit and run type of deal. Does a little bit of tanking, but for the most part, hit and run tactics are great with this ship. The Kestrel and the Merlin, are the ones that are tanky. You got the Heron, that is your cloaky ship, and your salvaging ship, and your scanning ship, all rolled into one. Then you have your Griffin, which is your jamming ship. Caldari has the jamming ship. Minmatar has a webbing ship or target painting ship and various other things. So just to show you, so like Minmatar, there's their salvager, weapon disruption, right? Galanti, there's their salvager, there's their armor repair guy. Ah, here it is, remote sensor dampener, so they can, make it to where the lock range is less. Weapon disruption just means that the tracking is off or worse. Then you have the Minmatar, and their little guy should be this guy right here. Yeah, target painting. So target painting, what it does is it makes the ship that is target painting appear bigger, so easier to hit. So we're gonna work our way to the Kestrel and the Merlin. I want both. Then we're gonna work our way after that to the Corax and the Cormorant. Both destroyers are very nice. This one's a missile boat. This is a gunboat. Then after that, we're gonna work our way up to the Caracal and the Moa. I'm gonna basically stay in the Caldari tree, and we're gonna do guns and missiles as well the entire time. So I'm gonna work to one, then get to the other, then vice versa. And we'll work our way up to the Ferox, the Drake, and the Naga. All three of these are good ships. The Naga is a sniping ship. And you just keep on, you work your way up to your battleships. Right? So, gunboat, missile boat, kind of a mixture, but it's a jammer. So these two are our primary ones. And then from there, once we get into battleships, that's where we're also going to then start working towards Tech 2. And then we'll just go to Tech 2, go to destroyers, get Tech 2, then go cruisers, Tech 2, and command ship or the battle cruisers, Tech 2, and then eventually Marauders, Tech 2, or Marauders, battleships, Tech 2. While we're doing that, we're gonna try to get a hold of one or both of those. I don't know which off the top of my head. And eventually we're gonna work our way up to where we can get at least pilot a jump freighter. It is not a requirement. But at the same time, you also have to think in mind of, well, we're gonna have to mine stuff, right? So we're at least gonna get into that. In reality, we're gonna get at minimum into a mining barge. More than likely, eventually get into an exhumer and make this pilot a mining pilot as well. Eventually, you want to branch off, but once you find your ideal thing, then you work out from there. Or, there's various things you can do. So, you've got, the Guristas, you got Sanchez Nation, you've got Blood Raiders, Angel Cartel, you got Serpents, you got Sisters of Eve, you got Mordor's Legion, you got the Triglavian, you got Edencom. I mean, there is so much available now. It is awesome. And you've got the these, right? Now these ships are very unique. They are literally anyone can use. You can pilot this ship right here. You can pilot this right now. But in order to actually use this ship, guess what? You need to be able to use large weapons. Because it only gives bonuses to large, hybrid turret, energy turret, and projectile turrets. heavy missile, cruise missile, and torpedoes. Now it is a great drone boat, so you can run it as just a big old drone boat, but there are other ships that do it way better. That's not saying you can't do it that way. It's just a recommendation. If you're going to grab these, the shuttle is honestly not really worth it. The frigate and destroyer, if you want to get those two, are very worth it. They're very stout vessels, and they are very nice ships. However, they are a master of none. They are a jack of all trades. So the only so in order to get these ships to the point where they're going to really be effective, you want to be in the tech too, and you want to be able to have all the really good stuff. And then you have these guys, which I don't really understand. I've never seen this, so it's gonna be interesting. 7.5% bonus to shield booster. So if I was in my main character, 7.5 times 5 is 35. 7, 14, 21, 28, 36, 37.5% bonus to shield boost. That's nice once you get to level 5. And then, as a secondary bonus, you get a 5% bonus to stasis web fire resistance. Eh. So a 25% bonus to the resistance to the stasis web fire. Not really caring about that. Um, Small projectile turret and rocket damage is of 150. So that's interesting. That is very interesting. 2, 2. Okay, so with this ship, you're gonna want to be able to do, so you're gonna want to do projectiles and missiles, which is nice. That's okay. And then breacher pod. I don't know what a breacher pod is. Compact. Provide eligible. Alright, so designed to board and wreak havoc in the vehicles. Interiors of ships. Attributes. So I am not sure what that does. I will have to use another character to test that out. It's very interesting. So yeah, I could do some damage. 100%, 50. So the battle cruiser gets, it's just as, it's weird as well, but it only gets 100% bonus. 50% bonus to the, oh, optimal range. Let's see, can't put medium works, can't switch your fitting. Okay, so 6, yeah, that would be that would be an interesting ship. Well, that's too far out for us, so, um, I'm going to stop this video, go to the next one, and then I'll upload this one later on, and the other one after that, and I'll just start a new playlist. Um, but you would generally want to get a figure out where you want to go. So I know that I'm gonna want to get more bigger ships. For now, we're gonna stick with Caldari. Then we'll branch out to probably the Minmatar or the Mar or the Galanti. I'm not sure which. We'll have to look at it later on. But for now, I'm going to stop this and we're going to start the next recording and then we'll be good to go. So, here we go.